Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line, Tamar Braxton. Welcome.
Why, thank you. Hi, DJ Envy.
Good morning.
Hi.
Your Wi-Fi was a little
Tamar.
funny at first. I know we were trying to connect. I thought maybe you had the Nelly Wi-Fi for a little bit.
It's Nelly Wi-Fi now?
Not Teddy Riley's.
Yo, Tamar's
The Nelly
commenting
Riley.
on these verses. You're commenting on these verses has me dying.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll just be speaking the truth because I'm showing up as a fan. So, I expect, excellence.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody that you're excited to, like, you would say, okay, this would be a good battle? Because I see everyone talking about this person should battle this person. What about Ashanti and Keisha Cole? What about people are talking about Snoop and who's he going to battle? Is there anybody you would be excited to see? Monica and Brandy, maybe.
I'm actually here for Monica and Brandy, just for the culture. I just feel like it's just been so much beef, especially like with us females. I just feel like it's time to bury the hatchet all the way around and just, celebrate music and celebrate how dope and amazing we are. And just celebrate each other's strides that we've made because, just being an African-American female in this industry is hard enough. And so it's like it doesn't serve us any purpose to continue beef between all of us. So
I'm with that.
Now, how are you quarantining? I see some water behind you. I see a beautiful city. How are you quarantining? Oh, no, that's the highway. That's the highway I'm seeing. How are you quarantining?
This is downtown L.A. I'm in my condo downtown L.A., and it's great. At first, I was upset because I was quarantining with my birthday. That was not cute, because I'm a big birthday person. But I started to see, I'm sorry, I'm moving my phone. I started to see the silver lining. I'm like, well, dang, I ain't got to lose my birthday weight. I don't have to find a birthday outfit. I can just throw in some pajamas and watch television and catch up on everything that I've been missing and enjoy and get to know my child because I'm gone all the time and spend some quality time with my man. And that's what I did.
I see he has a birthday, your son, and you guys are planning some type of Zoom party. So what's the plan?
Oh, my son. So I'm raising myself. My son had a conference call with me and my mom. And yesterday with Tony about what we're going to do about his birthday. Because I'm a big birthday person. So, of course, I spilled that down to my kids. So he's like, what we doing? So, I talked him into Zoom and, he still doesn't really understand it. But, that's what we got to do. That's where we are now.
Absolutely.
So what you doing, Tamar? What's going on professionally?
Oh.
What you doing, Charlamagne? I wanted to talk to you,
Uh-oh.
Talk to me. What's happening?
Because, okay, I was getting ready to DM you, but I was like, okay, we really don't know each other like that. But I feel like every time I come to the show, we have like a mutual respect for each other. So I can just ask you because you don't ask me crazy shit here too. What was the TikTok about?
That wasn't real.
That was real, Tamar. That was real.
It looked real to me.
That was real.
That wasn't real.
He FaceTimed me right before he did it. That was real.
No. What happened is there's a corny comedian
Not corny,
who likes to post videos about me. So what I do is I take his videos and take his name off him. And I cut, and what he tried to do with that video, he even put himself at the end. I cut that out, and it pisses him off so bad when I repost it, and then it goes on the Shade Room, and I get mad comments. Like, you should see his text in my phone. He's so upset.
It wasn't real.
Okay.
It wasn't real.
He's
He's
good
good
at
at that.
he was such an amazing dancer. So
He's good at editing, though. Amazing at editing.
I was a little jealous because, I've been trying to get that 8 count for about 2 months now, and for you to have dominated like that, I was like, what happened? And I'm in the video because Todrick's a good friend of mine. I'm like, well, how he
That's
get that
Todrick,
count?
exactly. That was Todrick. Salute to Todrick.
Well, Tamar, let's talk about your show, To Catch a Beautician. By the way, your hair looks amazing right now. Super cute.
Thank you, sis.
And so we did get the opportunity to see the first episode. And I have to say that I appreciate you for doing this because I've had a lot of hair issues myself, right? You know how it is. A lot of us have, and our hair is so important to us. And so I was feeling a lot of things that were happening on the show. I've had a situation where I don't get weaves that often, but definitely had a situation where my edges got a little nervous and gone. And I think a lot of women can relate to things like that. And some men too, let's be clear. Men are struggling right now with their hair as well. So let's talk about how this show even came about.
Well, I really want to jump into the edge thing, girl, because, I can't stop myself. But when it comes to me, the show came about because Scout and VH1 created this amazing show, and the only person that they had in mind was myself. And I was really excited when I heard about the premise of the show, because first of all, a lot of people don't know that my mom was a kitchen beautician, and so she had all the neighborhood elders and ladies come to our house every Saturday to get their hair done. Mm-hmm. And so I've seen my fair share of hair disaster or what's going on in the hair scene without being able to do hair myself. But the second thing that really did draw me in was the emotional side of it all. Right. Everybody thinks that our hair is just about our hair, but it's never just about hair. It has everything to do with our self-esteem, how we want people to see us, how our men see us, how our friends see us, how people judge us. So I just felt like, it was very important to kind of raise an awareness of the hair game and, talk about all the issues that we all go through when our hair is jacked up and how it makes us feel.
So no, if you don't know the premise of the show,
so many things we could relate to.
So if you don't know the premise of the show, explain it a little bit, because I've seen a little bit where you'll find these beauticians that do horrible jobs on people, burn people hair, put
don't
holes
say it like
on people.
that. Sometimes they're not horrible. Don't say that, because
I seen holes in girls' hair. I seen hair missing. So explain the premise of the show. Okay, so here's the thing. It really is a cause and effect, right? So let's just say you go to your barber, right? Mm-hmm. And he's been cutting your hair for 10, 20 years, and he do a phenomenal job. He got your lineup right. Mm-hmm. But one day you go in the salon, the barbershop, and he jack up your lineup. And so one part is here in 1960, and the other one is here in the year, 2020. Right. And you're not trying to, shit on him or nothing like that. But the fact of the matter is, he probably had a bad day. Something's probably going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But for you, it means one thing. For you, you can't go to work. For you got to wear a hat for the next 3 months. You can't, you don't feel sexy and amazing in front of your wife. You don't want her to see your bald head on one side. But for him, he could have, lost the deal. He could have lost his house. He could have lost his woman. He could have had problems at home with his child. So, what this show is that, hair is just the thing that brings us together. It's not the issue.
Tamar, you know what I'm realizing right now, too? It's not just women that have issues with their hair. What we're realizing now is that these men, let me tell you something. As much as they want to talk about us with our weaves and our extensions and all of that, these men right now are realizing, because they have a lot of issues with their hair too. We see men are getting like the transplants. We see them doing putting Monistat 7 on their head to try to grow hair back and all kinds of things. Hair is, I think, important across the board, not just for women.
Yeah, but the difference is we talk about us. Like, she got that from me because Tiffany Haddish told me to put Monistat 7 and Jamaican castor oil in my hair, because since I can't get no haircut during the pandemic, it's growing out. But we talk about it. Women aren't open about what they're doing.
That's definitely not true.
Not all of them.
No. The only reason why y'all talking about it now is because y'all exposed. You know what I'm saying?
Take that hood off. Let's see.
Y'all was not talking about this before this whole thing.
That is not true. That's a lie. Listen, I've been telling Envy he got a trap toupee for months.
And I don't. But this is my real hair. I just want to tell you, I need a haircut.
Lord have mercy.
This is my real hair.
Listen.
Look at that. Everybody take your hats off.
When Tiger did it, we called Tiger out. When Tory Lanez did it, when DJ Self did it, when they started drawing that shit on and using the Beijing and the black, we was on the guys too.
But that's because it was a rarity for guys to even admit to those things. And they didn't really necessarily want to admit. They got called out.
You can't help but admit to it. If you got a bald head and then you come into work the next day with a full head of hair, come on.
Y'all would make fun of LeBron.
Yes, but don't know you got fibers unless you laying down with them. You know what I'm saying? And most of y'all got fibers. Okay, let's just be real.
What is that? What is that?
Fibers is like, the little fine hair that comes in like the little shake things, like shake and bake for hair.
Shake and bake for hair.
Got you.
Like Celia.
So Charlamagne, take off your hat. How did that Monistat 7 work? Take off your hood.
Is it working?
It's doing all right.
It actually works.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
My goodness.
Mine is growing up.
With the combination of a few things.
I don't give a damn. I ain't no. Listen, I don't care.
Ooh,
This is just a fresh baldy once this quarantine is over. I walk around bald. I'm cool.
Tamar looks crazy. Tamar looks like, what did I just see? My goodness gracious.
Listen.
That's gonna be a meme. Did y'all see Tamar's face? She look.
I was just confused.
But Tamar, let's get back to you, Tamar, and the show, because what we do want to make clear, these beauticians are not like they're terrible, like you were saying. It's just that you might want to confront, and sometimes it is hard for us to confront the person who does our hair also, because a lot of times we're on friendly terms and we still go to them after that. We might have had a bad experience, but our relationship with our beautician, sometimes that goes on for decades.
Absolutely. Or you just go to a new person and they jack you all the way up. And so you really feel, a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? But let me just touch on the guy weave stuff for a second, because I just feel like, it's about time that we call them out, because, they just hold us accountable for so much. Oh, accept yourself for who you are. You don't need no weave. You don't need no wig. How about y'all? I'm just saying. I just saw a certain rapper that wears a lace front. I didn't know.
Who? Say his name.
Who?
I won't start no shit. Y'all know.
I want to know who it is. Who got a lace front?
I know Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
I know Tiger. Who?
Wait, they wear lace front too?
No.
I don't know if it's lace fronts, but it's some type of procedure. They both got some type of procedure.
Tory Lanez just got braids too recently.
Procedure is a different situation than you just sitting up there getting got to be and stuff, like in the diffuser. Like, that's different. It's a different process. But I didn't know that guys were wearing like full on lace front, okay, which is a lot for me to digest.
That's a lot.
No, really. And then there is like a process where like they put like glue on the guy's head and it's like put like a bunch of put like a bunch of kaliki on and shave that thing down, and look, it's like an old
yeah. I saw that. I saw that. I saw Johnny did that to Envy one time in the barber.
Definitely did not stop it.
We are. We need to just go ahead on and accept each other for who we are. We are bald, and everybody's getting old except for me.
So listen, how do you maintain during the pandemic, Tamar, when you can't get to your hairdresser?
Well, I just got cute for y'all because, this is kind of where it all goes down. But, I had these braids in my head since like March 8th because I was planning on, going to Bali for my birthday for like 2 weeks. That didn't happen. The quarantine happened. So I was basically sitting here looking crazy. My nails look like I've been chewing them and picking cotton and stuff. I look crazy. I gained 25 pounds.
God damn.
I'm thick over here. But I'm really enjoying, the moments. I feel like we are secretly prayed for, but didn't really have the courage to take off.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like we really all needed this time with our family to reconnect, with God and reconnect with our goals and be stronger and move forward and look at the things that really matter.
Right.
Very true.
Absolutely.
I gained 20 pounds. I lost it, though. At the beginning of the quarantine, I gained 20 quick. Then I had to go on a cleanse.
You lost it? What happened?
Oh, yeah, I lost it.
All that dancing on TikTok will do it.
Right.
I lost that. I wish I could dance like that. If I could dance like that, my TikTok would be fire.
Now, Tamar, I saw you also talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, the reunion, and you were like, I don't know if I could even watch this. Did you end up watching?
No. Because I saw some clips, and, it irritated me because I just think in this temperature of life and what we're all going through, the last thing that we need is like us reading each other for filth for dumb stuff. I'm still confused about the Candy and Mimi beef. It really does bother me more than it should because I know that those two individuals are really, really good people. Mimi's a good person. She's funny as I don't know what. but she really doesn't mean any harm, you know? And like Candy is a really good person. She's super duper competitive, and that's what I really love about her, her drive. And she's also a great person, but I just don't feel like the two of them need to be beefing like that so hard. It irritates me.
I saw Nene did wish Candy a happy birthday. Yeah.
I mean,
it was a little funny happy birthday. It didn't seem like it was just like happy birthday. It was kind of a little funny happy birthday. Yeah, a little stabby.
Yeah, to me, it looked like an olive branch. I mean, it really all depends on how you want to look at it, right? So it started off by saying, okay, so this little fake beef that you started is not going to stop me from wishing you a happy birthday. So it's almost like it doesn't matter what you do or what anybody else do. I'm still going to respect you at the end of the day. That's just how I took it. So,
can you have a fuck that? Can you have a fuck that nigga friend? Meaning like you got a friend that you know that's your friend, but you're like, man, fuck that nigga. Can you have one of those?
Oh yeah, for sure. It is, but it's the way you handle it, right? Like before, you know, everybody knows me. You know, I say what I feel, right? Before I'm going all the way in, but it's just like you realize one day that I can say those words or that tension or that energy for something positive that's going to benefit me in the end. So me going after you, you know, because of something you said that I don't like, first of all, me popping off at you is not going to change how you feel about me, okay? As a matter of fact, it's going to make the situation worse. So why not just go ahead and let you feel how you feel, Pooh? Because you're going to feel that way whether I pop off back to you or not. And let me go about my business and pray for you behind the scenes and keep it moving. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
That's good, Tamar, because it can be so stressful when you have to like publicly have back and forth. I know you know how that is. And then everybody's weighing in, and then it turns into a way bigger situation. And you're like, damn, I should have just not even bothered.
You just should have shut the fuck up, okay? Because
I don't believe in that.
I do. Let me tell you why I do. Because, you know, we work our asses off. And one tweet, one argument with somebody, one word that you say can ruin your whole hustle for 20, 30 years. Why am I going to waste that on somebody that is not going to help me take care of my son at the end of the day and, you know, accumulate my wealth at the end of it? Why? Why am I going to do that?
Right. Don't give somebody that power. That's how I feel. Don't give them that power.
Yeah, absolutely, because some things that I have said have definitely stifled, you know, my career in some ways, you know, and I've learned that lesson, you know, because at the end of the day, we got to eat. And, you know, you can't invest if you're not making.
Right.
Yeah, but, you know, for somebody like you that's outspoken, right? Like if you had to think about everything that you said, you'd always be second guessing yourself. And that's not why we love Tamar.
It's not about second guessing. Okay, sometimes people grow up, right? And it's not about, listen, I'm not saying, oh, Lord, 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 and I'm all perfect and everything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I choose a different path because it's working better for me.
Some things aren't worth it.
Gotcha.
I don't care anymore, you know, like, because it does not affect my bottom line at the end of the day. And that's what matters to me.
And your blessings don't stop. You're very talented and you're still getting opportunities and still hosting shows. And I do want to take a moment to say that I love Johnny on the show with you as well. I think he's such a great and positive person and amazing at his job too.
Yeah, he's great. And, you know, the first time I met him was at the White House with Michelle Obama. And we kind of clicked in because we have a lot of mutual friends, like real close mutual friends. And so I had an instant bond with him. So when he did the chemistry test and he was spitting all this knowledge and he knew, you know, about things that I didn't know about and chemicals and what makes this happen. Your hair going to fall out if you do this, that, and the other. Or this is what makes your hair grow. You know, it was really interesting to me. And I thought, you know, it was a big responsibility to put somebody in that position who you wouldn't think would know so much about, you know, hair and the education of hair.
Right. Now I want to go back to quarantining. Now, you know, you have a 6-year-old. So now how is that in school? You know, who's helping them out every day? And is that a lot? Because it's sometimes as parents, it's easy to be like, just go on the TV and just chill out.
Well, my son almost failed the first grade. because I am not smarter than a first grader. I should be, but I wasn't. So what I did was, I got his tutor who was already working with him. And, I just basically begged her to up her hours because this is what she does. This is not what I do. And so it was really important for me, for him to finish out the school year. And listen, I'm not going to lie, it's very, very hard for the little ones. Like, the little ones act like they're okay, and especially if they're, the only child and they're in the house, full of adults. It's really, really hard on them because just like the time that, we value being with our coworkers and friends and being away from our home, they count on that shit too. And for them not to have that was a lot, and it was an adjustment. Now, that shit wasn't fun, but we got through it. His last day of school was Friday, so it was second grade.
That's good. Congratulations.
Tamar, do you have any horror hair stories to share with us about yourself?
Yeah, listen, let me tell you something. I was the queen of edgelessness that lived on Edgeless Lane in Edgelessville.
Did you do Monistat 7?
No, I didn't use Monistat 7, but I know that works along with some oil. It really does work. It's a company called Simplicity that really specializes in that, and it really works. And that's what originally got my edges back at first. Now I created her own edgeless stuff. Because, it just simply works. And a lot of women are afraid to talk about the fact that we are edge deprived. But the fact of the matter is it's a fact. Like, our hormones will snatch out our edges, our wigs, our weaves, stress, our men. Yeah, you guys will leave us edgeless and brokenhearted. So, I came up with my own formula that will be on sale in about a week.
Oh, good.
Okay, what's the name of it? What's the name of it?
Tamar Braxton's Edge Miracles.
Yes. All right, listen, we all trying to find our way.
Now, how does that work though? Do you put together a recipe? Did you sit in the lab with somebody? Like, how'd you figure that out?
Well, okay, so I feel like all of us are like hairstylists within, right? And so we use our own like concoctions that work for us. And so all I did was put together the concoctions that worked for me. And, finally go in the lab and make it legal, and that's what we did.
Hey, speaking of being in the lab, I saw Irv Gotti talking about you the other day because he was talking about this song he did with your sister called "No More Love," and he was actually rapping on the song. I guess this had to be years and years and years and years ago. But he said all of y'all was in the studio together, but the record never came out. But he put it on his Instagram the other day.
Well, I don't follow Irv, but that's not shade, y'all. I didn't hear it.
It sounded shady as fuck.
I don't follow him.
I don't. I mean,
nobody tagged you in it?
Because he was saying the record never came out because it was too dirty, and they was trying to keep Toni Braxton's image perfect back then.
Oh. What you want me to... Okay.
Just asking if you remember the session. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, okay, to catch a beautician.
And I also put a record out. I don't know if you guys know that. You know that?
No. But you can introduce it. We'll play it today. Let's play it today. Tell us about the record.
So I did this movie, and it's called Truth to the Game 2. And I was not interested in doing, music because the last time I came, and talked to you guys, I was like, this is for me. I don't feel like it. Right. I couldn't really tell everybody that Vince and I was going through our thing, you know what I'm saying? And I was so not into music and just off of entertainment and everything that reminded me of this painful time that I had with my ex-husband. And so when I did this movie, the producer was like, yo, Tamar, I want you to do a song for the soundtrack. And I'm like, wrong answer. I don't want to do it. But my publisher took me out to dinner, and on the way back from dinner, he played me this record. And, I've always been a songwriter. And I've always had a hand in everything that I have done, like in my career, like singing-wise. But when I heard this song, I instantly fell in love with music, and I just felt like it was something that should be a part of the culture and should be a part of my history. So it's called Crazy Kind of Love.
Shout to Manny. Manny's been pushing you and pushing that soundtrack and that movie for a long time. I'm glad you guys got it done. Now, how are you? Now, I want to go back to quarantine.
Where's the record at? You gonna send us?
We're gonna play it. We're gonna play it this morning.
Well, I can't believe y'all not playing it. I think it's like number 8 this week or something, from what I heard.
We're gonna play it this morning.
I never even heard it.
That's a little shade.
Well, you sure heard Todrick. Kai, you need to.
I did hear. I did it. I definitely heard Todrick.
So Tamar, does this mean a return to music for you? Are you planning more now that you got inspired?
Oh, sis, it does. It does. You know, like I really, honest to God, fell in love with music and not everything, all the antics that's behind it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even follow charts. I don't even follow sales. Like, before all of this, I'm still doing shows.
You just said you was number 8.
Because I was told that it was in an email. You know what I'm saying? I ain't asked nobody. You know how that goes, Charles. Man, when your book be like, pow, pow, you ain't asking nobody. Shit in your email, you like, praise God. Okay.
Oh, no. I be following, though. And saying
he said, no, I be following, though.
Well, I mean, listen, you know, let's just say, Charlamagne, if somebody took your passion or a situation, you know, made the passion of you being a writer away from you. And it wasn't just about writing anymore. It was just about having a feeling to write. And so you did.
Yeah.
You're not, it doesn't have the same feeling. You know what I mean? It hit a little different. It's just like, yeah, this is me and this is my artistry. It still means something, but if it doesn't go number 1, it still means something to me.
Right.
Word.
So that's how that is.
Well, let's introduce the record. Introduce the record.
Well, this is Crazy Kind of Love from Tamar Braxton.
Okay. All right, Tamar. Well, we appreciate you for joining us.
Appreciate you, Tamar.
Oh, my God. I sure the hell hope I did not get in trouble.
We'll find out once this interview comes out. Whatever Shade Room grabs from it, a baller alert, we'll know.
Now, I also heard you say that you might be ready for another little baby.
Yeah, but I'm ready for a ring first. Bow.
Hey, you're in the quarantine, so you're cuddled up. So you're in the quarantine, so ain't nothing to do but eat, sleep, and have sex.
And pray. Won't he do it?
Yes,
you want to get remarried, Tamar?
I do. You know, I am a wife, not a girlfriend. I'm just not that girl. You know, you don't be bouncing and bouncing on me forever. No. Ain't doing that.
So do you hold back certain things? Is there certain things that a husband gets that a boyfriend doesn't?
Absolutely. Respect. I'm just saying, why buy the cows? You can get the milk for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't cute, you know? And I'm trying to be up there with, you know, Envy and Gia. You know, those are goals right there.
So you just give them a little bit.
You know?
Well, Tamar, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you so much.
Love y'all so much. Thank you, guys.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.